we save? Are we going to buy? Are we going to rent? How are we going to retire? Do we travel once a year, several times a year? So I want everyone to be clear, because people don't talk about it. You fall in love, somebody's attractive, they're cute, and you just kind of miss all the parts. You look at one part, like, but they really love God, right? Like, and I love that, right? So they really love my family, and they love kids. But what about all the other stuff?
That's so good.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble when I say this.
Yo, before we get to today's show, what if I can show you how to start making six figures right now? Within the next 9 months, you can change your whole life. You can especially change the next 9 years. You know what? I'm so excited. I'm so grateful because I just recently partnered with Bethel Tech, an online Christian boot camp that is helping people get qualified in the tech field. Now, why is this so important? Let me tell you why. Because the median age for American people was $35,000 in the year 2020. That's almost $2,900 a month, and that is not okay. And so listen, close to 100 people within our tribe has signed up for Bethel Tech. They are learning stuff in the cybersecurity field. They are getting qualified. And the average person, when they finish this program, is making $65,000 a year. And within 1 year, a lot of them are making close to six figures and more. Just recently, someone from our tribe went through the program. Watch this. Went through the program, and her first job offer was $125,000. Listen, change the next 9 years of your life. Shift this out. Get into this program so you can get out of debt and start building wealth now. And if you click the link in the show description of today's show, they're going to give you a $1,500 scholarship. And I'm going to give you a little secret. They may even give you an extra $1,000 if you call them, explain to them your situation, where you are in life. You may even get $2,500. But for sure, they're going to give you $1,500 just for being part of my family. Check out the link in the show description, and let's get to today's show. It's your boy.
What's happening? No capping. We with AO, about to get a plate bowl. Pull up to the table. Let's go.
Yo, so seeing a therapist is a powerful way to care for your mind. Oftentimes, you guys hear me say this often, to mind your business, because your mind is a business. It's your number one asset. I really want to make sure that as we're going throughout this year, that as we're maximizing our single season, and we're going to talk about that course a bit later on, as we're building wealth, as we're getting out of debt, as we're building healthy relationships, that we're growing our number one asset. You see that 75% of people who see a therapist said that they notice a huge difference. So what am I saying? Seeing a therapist is a powerful way to care for your mind. And especially with us as being single, and not all people, but I think that seeing a therapist when you're single is a very healthy thing to do. And it is a good way to maximize your single season. So you can start building the success that you want. So you can get that job promotion. So you can be a better husband, a better wife, a better partner, a better friend, a better son, a better daughter, you name it. There's so many things that we battle with up here that we really don't even know that we're battling. But it takes someone else who is trained, who have the expertise to really walk us through our actual, while we're processing things. And I'm really excited about today's show because I partnered with my friends BetterHelp, and they have sponsored today's show. And I'm really excited because they sent in an amazing therapist. I didn't know she was this cool. She came into my home and we probably talked for about a good hour before we came downstairs to shoot this show. So you guys are in for a huge, huge, huge treat today. So I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to go ahead and share this video, hit that thumbs up. I want you to get a pen, get a paper, because this season, I'm not giving you a bunch of fluff in the very beginning. We're going straight in. We're diving straight in. But before I introduce Joy, our therapist today, I really want to be vulnerable and transparent. About 6 years ago now, in the year 2022, 6-7 years ago, I walked through a separation. I was engaged to an amazing woman. Just moved to a brand new city when I was there working with Ramsey Solutions and Dave Ramsey, that amazing team over there. Didn't know anyone in the city. Didn't know anyone. Moved from Jacksonville, Florida to come and join the speakers team for Dave Ramsey, and had this amazing woman. And man, I just knew she was my wife. And then unfortunately, it didn't work out. It didn't work out for good reasons that both of us agreed it was good to walk our separate ways. And one of the things that I did was, as soon as I got out of that relationship, I just jumped into another one. I started dating multiple people. I started seeing different things, but I really didn't address me. I didn't really step back and say, you know what? How do you feel, Anthony? I didn't cry. I didn't get emotional. I didn't really sit down and talk with someone to feel and to really see, why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling? And I'm gonna be honest and transparent. I hurt some people's feelings. I lost friends. Some ladies lost respect for me because, let's be honest, sex was not involved, but they were, emotional rebounds. And that wasn't right. That wasn't healthy. And when I quickly realized what I was doing to other people and to myself, I went and saw a therapist. And I would be honest with you, the first day of therapy was rough. Because I was like, can I trust you? Do I know you? Are you gonna judge me? That second day though, when I just said, you know what? I went home, God told me to just open up and to be honest. Y'all, your boy, I broke down like a little kid. I was crying in that joint. She was giving me tissue. I was laying on the couch. I was just letting it all out. But it felt so good to let everything that was deep down in me just come out. And then following those sessions, it wasn't just 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a period of sessions that I really got to know why I think the way I think, why I process the way I process things, why I respond the way I responded to things, why I was hurt. Watch this. We went way back to when I was a little kid of how that impacted me on that day today. And so with this being Black History Month, I wanted to have a show about mental health, about seeing therapy. And I partnered with the organization BetterHelp, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about them here in a little bit. I really wanna get to Joy, but BetterHelp is amazing. And I'm gonna drop all their information in the show description because listen, it's the truth. It's the truth. But I feel better because of therapy. I love my therapist. I've been seeing a therapist 2 times a month for the last 5 years, and it's been a blessing. And so today we have Joy with us. She's an experienced licensed marriage and family therapist through BetterHelp, all right? She's a trusted dating coach. And for y'all married people who trying to get it in the bedroom, she's also a sexologist coach as well. I'm like, well, hold up. Wait a minute. I like that because here's the thing. Married couples, y'all need to have better sex. Let's just be real. Okay. Now what y'all single people do, what does single people do in their own free time? That's between you. That's between you and the Lord. Okay. But I love it because she's not just a therapist, but she has a passion for Black people, for the Black community. She's an author, she's a speaker, and she's a founder of the Glow Your Godness movement, which empowers women to cultivate self-love and connections within healthy relationships. So, tell your friends, Joy is at the table because it's gonna be a great conversation. So, Joy, I'm gonna ask this question straight up front. Let's dive straight in, okay? In this season of my life, right, I'm known as the money guy,
okay,
right? I really am. But I'm really starting to learn how to build healthier relationships.
Yeah.
So not just dating, but just friendships. Like we just met. How do we build healthy friendship relationships? Mm-hmm. How do we build healthy business relationships? Mm-hmm. But then also, too, how do we build healthy dating relationships?
Yeah.
Because dating relationships do impact our wealth down the road. Because if we get the wrong man, we get the wrong woman, we can be broke. Mm-hmm. And so when we think about therapy, how does therapy help us inside of our relationships?
Well, when you're going to therapy, you're going to a space where you have someone who really can see kind of down the road because we have so much experience seeing people with their dynamics, right? Mm-hmm. So when I have someone come, whether it is an individual or it's a couple, I'm trying to break down talking about what are these values and these expectations that you have because people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of financial, I have everyone do kind of like a quadrant of their expectations and I have them do it separately. Don't kind of come together and just agree because your partner said it, right?
Yep.
So I want you to tell me what are your values and expectations around intimacy.
Yeah.
What are your values and expectations around spirituality, around your physical health? Do we work out together? Do we eat a certain way together? What are your expectations around finances? Do we save? Are we going to buy? Are we going to rent? How are we going to retire? Do we travel once a year, several times a year? So I want everyone to be clear because people don't talk about it. You fall in love, somebody's attractive, they're cute, and you just kind of miss all the parts. You look at one part, but they really love God, right? And I love that, right? So they really love my family and they love kids, but what about all the other stuff?
That's so good.
Forget.
Yeah. I couldn't. Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble when I say this. I'm so gonna get in trouble when I say this. But heck, it's my show. There's 5 things I look for in a woman. Now, and my tribe knows this. Essence: saved, sweet, smart, skilled, and sexual. Right? She can be saved, but if she don't have the other 4 things, I can't rock with her. Now, the church world will say, Anthony, being saved is all you need. But I'm like, I don't know about all that. If she loved the Lord, but she ain't sweet, I don't want her.
Well, how can she love the Lord and not be sweet? That's a little bit confusing to me, but
Listen, you got some people saying, I can love the Lord, but I'm still going to be, Okay, let's say she's sweet and she loved the Lord, but she ain't smart. Can't do that. And let me just be honest. She can be saved. I mean, running around the church, speaking in tongues, reading that Bible. But if she is not sexual within the confines of the marriage, I don't want her.
Yes.
Because it's like, God made that. I want that. I don't want to fight for that. Which is why I love what you're doing on the sexology side of things is you're teaching that healthy relationship on how to have good, fun sex. And y'all just go follow her stuff for that stuff. We're going to talk about money and mental health today. But I love what you're saying. You're really breaking down the values. Within the Black community, why do you think, and I didn't send you this question, but you just sparked this question. Why do you think we run away from therapy? Why do we frown on seeing a therapist?
I could tell you, for me, when I grew up, my entire family has never been in therapy. I have pastors in the family, we have businesses and all. No. When I grew up, it was very much what happens in the house stays in the house. You don't tell anybody your business. Yes. It was mainly that. Don't tell anyone your business. Because we all have secrets. We all have some sort of sickness or trauma. And so I'm going to keep it real. Unfortunately, people come to my office and not one of them has come to me with something that doesn't break my heart. We can move past it and you can grow from it. But in our Black families, there's a lot of pain, and no one wants to have the cover off the pain. They don't want other people to see that side of things. So I think our families have taught us, keep us safe. Don't get us in trouble. Don't make us look bad, right? And also they felt like, you could pray about it. And but what if you prayed and God sends you a therapist?
Listen, you're right on point. You're sick, you prayed about it, God sends you a doctor.
Yes.
My philosophy is I'm going to pray like it all depends on God, but I'm going to work like it all depends on me.
Yes.
And I think oftentimes you're right, because that was big in my family. We don't have to go. We just pray on it. God answers all of our prayers.
Yep.
I believe that. But the answer to the prayer could be a therapist.
Yes. And a therapist is not there to snatch your business, tell everybody, shame you, judge you. And I think that's the thing that we don't have an understanding of, right?
So can we break down the basics before we get back to the questions? Because I'm feeling this in my head. Black people's like, all right, cool. So let me ask you some of the basic questions that I know I had. Legally, if I come into you and I retain you, can you legally share my information with your girlfriend? Or let's say if my job says, I got to go see a therapist, and my job calls you and says, well, how did therapy go? Can you legally share my personal information, what we talk about?
Legally and ethically, I cannot share with my friends, and I can't share with your company or even a court mandate unless you sign something that says I can talk to them. So you as my client, if you do not give me permission, I can share nothing. I can't even say that you're my client. If you call me to say I want to confirm they came to therapy, but you didn't sign to tell me that I can give them that confirmation, I don't know who you're talking about.
Whoa. Y'all better get some notepads. I'm about to help y'all out today. So if I come in and talk to you about some BS that's happening on my job, and I told my boss, I went to therapy, and they call you, hey, Joy, did Anthony come in to see you for therapy? Your response is, I can't give you a yes or no on that?
Correct. I cannot confirm nor deny that this is even my client.
Is there anything legally? At what point can you do that? It's like, is it when...
There's a point that I have to, that I'm mandated. So if you tell me something that is involving child abuse, something that is involving abuse on someone who's disabled or elderly, or you tell me you're about to go home and murder your husband, I kind of got to tell
you
somebody.
have to. Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. We got you in that part. From on the ethical side of things, do therapists actually practice that? Do you think that they do they go, I'm like, girl, let me tell you about what Anthony told me today in therapy?
Anthony, why are you trying to get me caught out here? No.
I'm just asking the questions. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're like, girl, don't tell nobody, but girl, let me tell you what AO said to me.
I will say this. I have some very high-profile clients, and you will never know who they are, right? And I won't even allude to what they do or anything like that. But if you tell me some stuff I ain't never heard before, I got to tell you, I'm probably going to say to my man, like, listen, this is what I was told today, but I'm not going to say who told me,
where,
nothing about them.
But that's a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with you. That's your partner. So I rock with you on that part. But I think the biggest fear for us is if we come in there, here's a good question. Can you tell my spouse what we talked about?
Absolutely. Again, if you don't sign a release, absolutely not. And I've had that. I've had a spouse try to make an appointment for their other spouse, and I let them know, just because your card's on file, just because you're doing all the stuff, I'm just letting you know, we're not going to be able to have a discussion about your husband's therapy. That's not going to happen. And they might get upset, and they decide what they're going to do, but I put it out there up front. So.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about this.
Yes.
I bring my son to you, 15. And my son comes in, has a great conversation with you. Can you legally tell me what you and my son talked about?
I can. He's a minor.
He's a minor, okay.
But as a therapist who is trying to cultivate a relationship with this person, right? A 15-year-old is not going to trust me because you came in here, talked to my son, and then tell me all the things. Why would your son tell me anything? I can't help him if your son doesn't trust, right?
So good.
So I have a conversation with the parent, like, this is what I'm trying to do with your son. I'm not going to trick him and just say, we're not going to tell your father. I'm really not going to tell you all the things unless there's some self-harm, unless your son is being abused by someone, because it's child abuse, right?
Yep.
Or they're sneaking out 3 o'clock in the morning and potentially they're going to be harmed. I have to let you know. And I'll let your son know that before we start. And I'm not going to secretly tell your dad, hey, this happened. We're going to talk about it. Because really, I want you to tell your dad.
Ooh, that's so good. Oh, my gosh, y'all. I like Joy. Y'all got to follow her offline. She's mad cool. Really cool. Because I'm giving her questions right now that she doesn't know. Like, I'm going to get back to the questions because I have some good questions on here for you all specifically. But you're making me think, Joy. You're making me think. In your opinion, I believe that all single people, to maximize their single season, and when I say maximize their single season, right, I'm not telling single people to go out there and date all the people they want to date. I'm saying let's take money out of the picture. Let's take relationships out of the picture. How do you become a healthier person to build success? How do you build the foundation to build wealth on? How do you build foundation to build a healthy relationship on? And that's yourself. So I believe that all single people have a course coming out here in the next few weeks. It's called The Singles Blueprint, 8 Pillars to Maximize Your Single Season. And one of the core pillars I'm teaching about is like the core. And the core is, part of the building your core is you gotta see a therapist. I say that while you're single, before you get into a committed relationship.
Yes.
As a woman who has a partner and, raising kids, if you could go back to when you had no responsibilities, right? Would you agree? Why would you agree? Because we already know your answer. You agree that we should see a therapist. But why? If you can go back to yourself as a single person, why do you think it's so important for single people to see a therapist and to talk through things before getting into a relationship?
Well, you were talking about it earlier in terms of like going way back. I look at it as our original love story, right? So with our parents, our caretakers, it could have been our grandmother, it could have been anybody who took care of us. In that beginning space, we were having reflected to us who we are. Like our relationships are a mirror, right? So if my beginning story was I am lovable, okay, I can function that way, that I'm lovable and I deserve things.
Yeah.
If my beginning story was that I am always neglected and I don't deserve to be spoken to, right? I don't deserve to be touched. I deserve to be yelled at. I'm constantly shamed. This is going to shape how I see myself and how I define love, as a matter of fact, right? We do a lot of, I feel like I'm not enough, so therefore I have to do in order to get love, right? So we'll push and push and push because our original love story said that, right? And then other love stories that come after that. But the reason you need to do it is because you need to process through with your therapist, is that really your authentic idea of love? Is that really what you want to cultivate again and again? Because once we have that theme, that idea, or that attachment style, we call it, we kind of seek out people to play that story out again. We will seek out what we think we deserve, even if it's really not enough, right? So if you don't clean up that story and become empowered in that you are lovable just because you are human. You are valuable, you have worth, and no one can take that away. Not even your original love story people. These people maybe didn't have the ability to give you that love, right? So it doesn't mean that you can't be loved. It just means see who that author was, take that pen back, and you write that story, right? And your therapist does that with you. So.
I'm silent right now because I hope my people are getting it. I hope that they hear me and hear you.
They will get it if they go in and they do the work. Again, of course, I think everyone should be in therapy, whatever season, but absolutely, your relationship, your primary relationship is so important. They say you're as happy as your happiest relationship, right? So why not start it out with that foundation really of who you are, understanding what you want, not when someone else told you want it, right? Start well so it'll just grow. The best relationship will push you to grow in all types of directions.
How long have you been with BetterHelp?
For about 4 years.
4 years. And I love it because you're a minority. You a sister. And she a sister. Okay? Like she ain't, I don't want to be rude. She black. Do you like BetterHelp? I gotta ask you on the spot.
I do like BetterHelp. I do like BetterHelp.
I got a question for you. So why is it that we rush to be married? Because everyone's talking about, hey, go get you a man, go get you a woman, chase the ring, but you ain't chase your own life. Here's the funny thing. As I'm traveling around the world and I'm on TV, from Tamron Hall to Fox and Friends to the Rachel Ray shows, one of the most common questions I have been asked is, Anthony, how did you build your success? And it's simple. I didn't focus on getting into a relationship. I maximized my single season. And that is why I created this course. We're gonna walk through 8 pillars on how to maximize your single season and really tap into that potential that's on the inside of you that you really haven't brought out. There's some assignments, there's some constructive thinking that you're gonna have to really put into place so that way you can start building your life. Because when we have ownership, we have freedom. When we have freedom, it creates different opportunities. When we have opportunities, there's so much you can do with your future family. But it starts right now. You own your mind. You own your thoughts. God has given you something. Go do it.
In a quick, let's say in 30 seconds to a minute, tell the people a little bit about BetterHelp and why you like him and why they should consider BetterHelp to start their therapy journey.
Ooh. First of all, if you're looking for a therapist, you have access to over 20,000 therapists, right?
Yes.
So you don't have to wait. That's the thing. A lot of times we're on a waiting list.
Yeah.
If you are someone who travels, if you are someone who cannot get to an office, you have access to your therapist. I love the fact that you can message your therapist every day.
That's the dope part.
Of course. So if something's happening, you're having a little mini crisis, you want to let your therapist know, they're going to get back to you, right? And how about on top of that, me as a therapist, I'm strength-based. So you don't have to just come tell me your problems. Tell me me you just got that promotion. Tell me you just went out on that date and it went really well. Tell me the things that you are loving about things, the things that you are grateful for. And we can talk about the pain points as well. But I love that BetterHelp has given us such access. And it's not just therapy. You're getting groups, you're getting webinars, you're getting tools, real resources to say, I'm going to take this that this other therapist gave to me, not just my therapist, combine it with the work that I'm doing, and I'm about to go out into the world and really glow. And now they have added support groups, which I love, smaller groups, but it's so intimate. And I am very lucky to like head some of the BIPOC groups.
I was about to say that. So you lead some of the support in the major groups of things.
Absolutely. Yes.
Listen, you guys. This show is being brought to you by BetterHelp, right? And you guys know me. Y'all don't hear that a lot from me. I think I've only done like maybe 2 shows like this. Because I want to make sure that it brings value to who you are. And I know that therapy has brought so much value and will continue to bring value to me as a man. I believe that as I'm building my business, it's real good for my team members coming on because I know me. I know when I need to check myself. I know when I need to step back. When I get upset, I know really why I'm upset. And it's not my team member. It's something internal when it comes to me. You know, some of you all watching this right now, and I'm gonna be real with you. The reason why you're not married yet is because of something internal. You're blaming someone else, but really need to be looking at yourself. And my mom said something to me a while back. She said, yo, who's the common denominator in all of your relationships? Me. And she said, so go get you fixed. I'm not saying you're the sole reason, but you're a huge reason. You're a huge part of that. So I said, all right, cool. And so BetterHelp, you guys, is simple. It is easy to sign up. I'm going to drop their link below. Very affordable. And you can see someone. I would encourage you to start off once a month. Start off once a month. I go 2 times a month because I got a lot going on in my head. I'm going to be real with you. I have no problem saying that. And I want to make sure that I keep it controlled. I want to make sure that I better understand myself. Because I want to be a healthier man. I want to be a healthier husband. I want to be a healthier father. I want to be a healthier friend. I want to build a healthy business. And sometimes as an influencer, man, I'm helping you all out. I need someone to help me. I need someone to check me. I need someone to be like, yo, Anthony, you're wrong. And you all need someone like that too, that you can go to and just tell your secrets, tell your thoughts without being judged. And BetterHelp is a great place to do that. I've joined them, and I would encourage you to join them and check out Joy's group. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna like it. I'm done. She's dope. But you'll love BetterHelp. So check them out. So Joy, when it comes to like relationships, right? What are some of the biggest mistakes people make when pursuing new relationships?
Well, pretending to be someone that you're not, right? Pretending that you got what you don't have. Yes, sir. Yes. We're either pretending to be someone we think that you want us to be, or we're trying to reflect back whatever you are, right? We're trying to take on your stuff. So
that's not even a dating relationship. That's in relationships, period.
Absolutely. So when you're not, confident, you're not feeling secure about whatever assets you have, or maybe you don't even know. Maybe that's the other piece of it. Maybe no one has ever affirmed you or validated you. So you think that there is a nothingness and you have to take on everybody else's something. That's going to be an issue for you.
Joy, you talking good. Joy, you talking good. The reason why I am doing this show is because I wasn't confident in who I was. And because I wasn't confident in who I was, I racked up $35,000 in debt to impress her and to impress him and to fit into culture.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I grew up in a very strong Christian faith home. Couldn't go to dances, didn't kiss no woman, couldn't go to hugs. I had to wear church shoes to school every single day. You know what I'm saying? I had to wear the slacks with the polo shirt. Like I was Carlton from Will Smith going to school. Like real talk.
Prove it. Do the dance.
No, I can't do the dance. But I mean, when it was cold, I had to wear a sweater. And then when it got hot during the day, I put the sweater around my neck or around my waist. You know what I'm saying? Because my father was like, yo, you're going to be this man of God everywhere. And you can't go to the school dances because you don't want that spirit coming around me and your mom into the house. Couldn't even listen to hip hop music. the closest I could listen to was Kirk Franklin, GP, Are You With Me? You know what I'm saying? Mary, you know, that's all. But back then, man, I had to sneak to listen to some Beyonce or to like Blackstreet or the DMX. And so I say all to say, like, I graduated, and when I hit the real world, Christianity wasn't accepted. You know, being this young, black, polished man who loved the Lord, the church boy, in the real world, was nobody accepting that. You know, it wasn't cool. You know, it was, you come out here, you need to put some Jordans on. The first young lady I tried to talk to, she said, you are broke and you look broke and you can't holler at me. Because I had on Levi jeans with some church shoes and I never forget, a basic polo shirt. And I had Timberlands back then, not Timberlands. Timberlands from Payless. And this generation don't even know about Payless. You know what I'm saying?
I still said Payless clothes, but yes, I do.
But no, Payless for the ladies was cool. Because y'all can get some heels and rock them.
Yes.
But men, we Timberlands or Fibberlands. Which one was it? You know what I'm saying? And so when I walked into, I was insecure with who I was. Because I felt as if, if I want to be accepted, I need to go buy some real Timberlands. I need to go buy some real Jordans. And if I'm going to be real on this show, because it's my show, if I want to have sex, I need to look a certain way. I don't have to be that way for real, but I need to look like I am that way.
But how long can you keep that up?
Yo, I couldn't keep it up.
Exactly. Yeah.
I couldn't keep it up. Because, I kept getting the credit cards, swiping the credit cards, but I didn't have the money to pay back the credit cards. And so when I lost my job because I did something stupid in school, I lost my income. When I lost the income, I lost everything.
Yeah.
You know, I went to this one particular company. I don't want to say the name. I went to this one particular company, Joy, to get some furniture, just some leather. Who do you have leather furniture at your house right now?
I don't think I do.
Yeah, it's the most uncomfortable furniture. Because when it's hot, you laying on it, you sweating.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But it looks good. So, you know, back then when you can get the floor TV where it's on the floor and it's all built, like I got 2 of those. One for the living room, one for the bedroom. You know? So that way when she came over to the house, we could start over there and you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But I did all that because I didn't know who I was at my core.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just with the ladies. I'll never forget jobs telling me, well, you should look like this. You should dress like this. I had earrings in my ear. And they said, well, if you want this job, if you want to be accepted, son, you need to get your earrings out. You know, I had the S curl with I was trying to grow out dreads like my producer one. And the guy looked at me, I went for an interview. He said, if you want to get a job, son, you need to cut your hair because you want to be accepted.
Yeah.
And if you want to be accepted. And I started learning that people were telling me how I should think, how I should talk, how I should write, how I should do things. And I changed.
And that change is not sustainable. And that thing about being accepted, especially in our community, it's a lot for us, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to lose my black card if I'm not doing enough of this, right? But I want to be able to keep my job and I want to be able to do all the things. There's so much in terms of acceptance. And you were mentioning, you know, you were this boy, this man who loved the Lord, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
And that brings me to this other point around us thinking also that we have to have the type of relationships that we saw everyone else have, that we saw our family have. How about I can be my kind of Christian? How about I can have my kind of relationship? I don't have to have the thing that you and daddy had or you and uncle had or whatever.
Joy!
So, yes, sir.
But how do you, as a therapist, talk to me. If that's all that I've seen,
yes,
how do I now communicate that to me to where I can receive it, right? And then be comfortable that my mom and dad may not like that version of me.
Yes.
They may not like the way that I view Christianity. Like, you know, what's a good example? I put myself out there. I don't know if I have anything. My parents are real cool. I'm serious. Like my parents, they accept me now for who I am and who I'm becoming. But I don't know. I mean, but how do you tell, like, how do you do that, you know? How do you become comfortable in who you are and not really worried about what they say about you?
I don't know that you'll never be worried, but
That's good.
As a therapist, I'm working with my clients around reality.
Okay.
And what we come to is the price is too high. The price is too high to try to please all these people over here if it means abandoning myself. It's too much. So is your mother gonna be a little bit salty when you come home with this person, or the way that you're showing up as a Christian, or where you're going to church? It's possible, right? But if I do not align with my actual values and my authenticity, there is no joy. There's only a shell of a person. And so I'm gonna walk around as a shell so that you can be happy. You have other sources of joy. You have other sources of happiness, right? So I have to have mine as well. I'm not trying to neglect you, but I have to have me. So,
Joy, you better get me in trouble. Because I'm about to ask you a question.
uh-oh. Is it you or me about to be in trouble?
Nah, you ain't gonna get no trouble.
Okay.
I mean, it's my show, right? What they gonna do? Unsubscribe? But I think this we're talking about therapy. So, how do I say this the right way? One of my good friends is gay. And he married a woman because he was told, you can't do that. You can't be gay. And he put himself in a shell.
Yes.
And he took a woman through this process because he was put in a shell. To only realize 2 years later that he could not sustain that life. And he got a divorce, married a man. And my brother was so scared to tell me, this is one of my good friends, to tell me that he was gay. And I was hurt. I'm not. I love ladies. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. I don't, that's not my thing. I don't believe in that for me.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do you tell that person right now that's living in a shell because they are fearful of what their friends may say, their family may, and I was hurt that my brother didn't want to tell me about his life. I'm like, yo, bro, who am I? I am Anthony O'Neill. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not God. This has nothing to do with you, my brother. And when I saw his relief when he told me that, and I loved him, and I embraced him, and I accepted his husband, and I was like, yo, cool. Like, bro, God bless you. You know, go do y'all thing. I'm gonna do my thing over here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm having me a wife, you know what I'm saying? That's me, you know?
Yes.
But I still love you.
Yes.
Like, what can we do to help people stop? Because I know those last 2 years had to be hard on him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the reality is it is hard to just put yourself out there because people have been told that I'm so ashamed of you and absolutely you're going to hell and all the things. And I have clients who have told me, oh, well, so-and-so used to be gay, but he's not anymore. And it always comes back up because, you know, God loves you as he created you, and there's no thing where he's going to say, well, let me just turn that thing off. That's not what happens. Unfortunately, for some people, for how they feel, that's not what happens. But what I will say is, again, if you continue to live in this space where you keep suppressing, it's going to come out in all other ways. You might be someone who is then abusive towards your partner because you resent them for even existing, right? If you are going to come out, so to speak, we used to have, I would say, you know, for, what was this? In the 90s, we were talking about coming out. It was almost like, oh, you didn't come out yet? Like, you a punk? How come you didn't come out the closet yet? Just tell everybody, you know, be proud. So the community is like, you have to be proud. We have kind of switched that around to be a little bit more compassionate. So we have something called inviting people in. So Anthony, you were invited in, right? So if you are somebody who feels like you're not going to be accepted by everybody, you want to think about, who do I trust? Who are the people that I feel like no matter what, they would love me? I trust that they're not going to tell everyone. I trust that they're going to see me still as the human being that I am. And you invite those people in. It is not your responsibility to be the representative for everyone who's gay to tell everybody that you're gay. It's your life. The way that you do your relationships is your business. Now, if for you it feels good to be validated and be proud and tell everybody, do that. But be careful with that. I will work through that again with your therapist. We work through scenarios.
That's so
what
good.
would that look like? You know what I mean? So invite people in. You don't have to come out.
I talked to my therapist about that too, because I have a lot of people who are in my tribe who are in the LGBT community. And they said sometimes I offend them. Probably just because of my Christianity beliefs, right?
Okay.
And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. And so I really had to go down and just talk about, like, how do I do that? Like, how do I show love? How do I let them know you're accepted? And I still want to help you along this money journey. I still want to help you maximize your single season. I still want to serve you. Your personal life has nothing to do with me, you know, and I don't judge that. And so, listen, if you're watching this show, I got to say this again. If that's you and you're like, yo, I'm in this shell, I'm in this box because I'm scared, I'm fearful, you need to get on BetterHelp right now. And you need to go see a therapist. And you need to talk through dig deep. Why? What? And how do you free yourself? And I think that's the most important part is when you're free, you operate better, you move better, you even move wiser. And you just experience so now watch this. You come back and you have ownership over your life. And you're no longer allowing culture, you're no longer allowing people, you're no longer allowing friends and family to own your mind. You're giving them permission to own you rather than you own yourself. And you need to see therapy. Because I'm telling you right now, that's not healthy. You know? And it's not even just about Joy. It's not even just about, and we're going all over the place, Joy. And you hanging with me, and I love this. It's not even just about, let's just take same sex out of it, right? What if this person is on this job and they've been there for a while and they're making real good money, right? And they're scared to leave because they're scared of what you just left all those benefits. You've been there for 10 years, 15 or 5 more years. You could have retired. Like, what are you doing? Like, people are scared to transition because one, they're fearful of what will happen in a transition? 2, what will people say? And so here's another question I'm gonna ask you. What tools have been successful in shifting someone's mindset to be better prepared, not just for dating, but even just for life in general?
Well, you know, therapy, I'm gonna say first, right? But the tool through therapy, I think that has been very helpful is utilizing mindfulness, utilizing grounding tools, meaning, so that could be gratitude, right? It's anything that's going to bring you into this moment right now. So what we will do is we will go to the space where we will be future tripping, thinking about all the things that could go wrong, right? Or we'll think about all the things that have gone wrong. We'll think about all the struggles we have. Anytime I ask my clients, let me ask you, this year that we had right now, even in the middle of COVID, right? Was it better than the last year? And they think about it and they say, yeah. I said, what about the year before? Was that year better than the last year? Yeah. Every time it comes back exactly the same, that every year has been better. That the reality is, even when I have made changes and I've made choices and I've taken risk, the years have always been better. I've been wiser. I've made better, I've created better opportunities for myself, and I reflect on that with my clients. I help ground them. What's happening right now? Where are you actually standing right now?
Wow.
So that's one of the biggest things. The other thing that I really love, because I incorporate some spirituality into my therapeutic work and things like that.
So good.
People need to be spiritually and intuitively aligned. They need to understand what it feels like when something's off. They need to understand what they're being guided towards. They need to understand when something is, I need to run from that, right? They need to see the red flags. Not just see it, but feel it, right?
So good.
Trust yourself.
Yes.
So.
Alignment.
Yes.
It's key.
Yes.
I think it comes back for me, I think it's a good thing. But some ladies get fearful of it because I know the vision. I know where I'm going in life, you know? And I'm looking for someone who aligns with that vision. And so that way we can move forward together.
Yes.
I don't want to be going this way and she's going that way. And we're trying to have a relationship.
Yeah.
And I like what you said. Therapy is very, very important when it comes to alignment.
Absolutely. I mean, we're practicing alignment. Your therapist does not give advice. A licensed clinician should not be giving advice.
Okay.
What I'm doing with you is I'm having you tap into what you think makes sense. We're going to test that out. You're going to figure out what that felt like when I went this way or that way, because what I truly believe is people come in with everything they need. And I help pull that out and put it in the forefront and put it in front of you so you know you can use that over and over again, even when you're not with your therapist. So you have it.
So that's good. So let's stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there, Joe. God bless you. Yeah. Now, what are some red flags for someone like me, right, who's not a therapist? What are some red flags I should be looking for from a therapist? So like if she or he does this, that's a red flag.
If in session they talk about themselves, Right.
For real.
I mean, we could do a little self-disclosure if it is for the purpose of helping your therapy. Like you don't want to feel alone or that type of thing. But if I'm just sitting here telling you how bad a day I had, or if I'm speaking to you about anything sexual and we're not in the middle of sex therapy, that might be a problem. Or if I'm giving you an opinion or judgment on something that you believe in, like, well, you shouldn't do that. Why would you want to do that? Maybe you have commitment issues. So
I had that happen to me one time.
Oh,
and I left.
I'm sorry.
I said, well, I'm thinking about I wouldn't do that. That'll hurt you. I was like, did I pay to tell me what I shouldn't do, or did I pay to help me process why I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's a good one. What's another one?
Ooh, all the red flags, the red flags.
Yeah.
They're late all the time.
They're late.
Yes.
Heck yeah, that's a red flag.
Yes,
I paid you to be on time. And really on time, you're late for me.
Yes.
If I show up to the meeting and you show up right, nah, you better be there before I get there. Because you came here a half hour early.
Yeah. Yes.
Good therapist. Good therapist.
Personal red flag. This is just me. If your therapist can't make you laugh, you need to leave.
For real.
Absolutely.
What I think for me, if my therapist can't get me to the point within a certain amount of time, as far as being a little emotional,
yes,
that's not my therapist.
Yeah.
When I say, I'm not talking about the first day or two, I'm like, eventually,
yes,
I should be at a place to where I am vulnerable with my therapist.
I mean, that's what you came for, to practice that, right? You might have had this whole thing around being afraid of always being out there.
Yeah.
So if you can't feel safe enough with your therapist to trust that I can shed these tears and there's no judgment around it, I can say whatever it is that comes up, that's definitely a problem. That's a problem.
Red flags, you guys. This is about helping you guys understand why therapy is so important. And I'm gonna say this, in the Black community, therapy is so important. This is not a mentor giving you advice because you didn't sign a NDA with a mentor, okay? This is not your homegirl who is a licensed coach as a therapist. Coaches are great, coaches are needed.
Yes.
No, this is about someone that's gonna get into your number one asset, your mind, because this is your number one business, and breaking it down to where you can build a healthy foundation when it comes to building. And I'm telling you, man, I'm a better man today. I'm still evolving. I'm still maturing. I'm still growing. And therapy is a huge portion of that. I have a therapist. I have a spiritual father. I have my pastor, and I have good accountability partners. And I talk about all that inside of my course, but we'll talk about it later on. But therapy today, listen. We've been talking for about like 40-something minutes. I hope you all are getting the point that therapy is needed. I don't care what the church says. Just pray about it. Yeah, pray about it. Absolutely. I believe that the greatest enemy to our success, I'm gonna be real with you, it ain't him. It ain't the white man. It ain't your black brother. It ain't the government. The greatest enemy to our success is our excuse. And what's our excuse? To not make the decision that needs to be made. Because we're uncomfortable, because we're fearful of what people will say. Every time I meet a young lady, she says, hey, when she says, what are you doing to work on yourself? I see a therapist. And if she says, oh, are you okay? She ain't the one. She ain't the one. Because therapy to me is sexy. If my future woman says, I see a therapist, good God. Yes, Lord, you look good. Can I be real? Her saying, I see a therapist and I have a spiritual relationship, that's like her walking around the house, you know what. That is just sexy to me. Because anyone that is willing to invest into their business, invest into their mind, is an individual that understands the power of who they are in their core. They understand that if I am healthy at my core, I can accomplish anything in all things. And someone who says, I don't need to see no therapy, that's the person that's a red flag. You want to run from that person. Joe, I got some more questions, and then I'll let you go. Because I mean, this is just so good. Click the link. Check them out, you guys. I'm telling you right now, it's amazing. How much do early relationships really impact your current relationship connection. So it's like my past relationship with my ex-fiance, right? Do you believe as a therapist, what I experienced in that relationship impacts what I will get into in the near future?
Absolutely. What happens is we have these interactions with people and we believe that people will always interact like that with us. So whether it was good or bad, we make assumptions. And I put that assumption on you. Either it is, well, my ex did this for me, so of course you're going to do it for me. And then that creates disappointment because you're not doing the same thing. Or my ex did this to me, so of course you're going to do it to me. And so I might start just saying, well, where are you going? You're probably going to do this and this and this. And who wants to deal with someone who's just coming up with stories and narratives about what is going to happen, opposed to really cultivating the growth and the design of our relationship. So it definitely impacts your current relationships. Sometimes it's actually interesting. They say that the hardest relationship that you have is the first healthy relationship after several toxic relationships because you don't trust it.
No, that's real.
Yeah, you have a pattern. You're comfortable with the pain. You're comfortable with the problems. You're comfortable with the chaos. So when somebody's coming to you and they offer you peace, they offer you support, what do you really want from me? I don't trust it. And you will go back to that chaos just because you can't manage that space, especially if you don't go to therapy.
Wow. So you can be in front of what you prayed for and what you really desire.
Yes.
But because you've been through so much toxic stuff in the past, and if you didn't take the time to go see a therapist to help you really get down to your core, to understand that was toxic, that wasn't healthy, here's how you get over it, you can pass up on the very thing that you want.
Absolutely.
Because you didn't take time to go to BetterHelp.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. You know, and I'm laughing, but I'm serious. I really want y'all to think about this. How many of you all are not experiencing the healthy relationship that you really desire because you're not willing to get the help that you really need? I was with someone, and we was talking, and I'm trying to make sure I say this in a way. It wasn't Brad. She's already talked about this on the show, but I'm not gonna say any names. She said for 3 years she stayed with the man who was beating on her because she said that she was taught that if she does something wrong, it's okay for her man to put her hands on her.
She deserved it. She deserved it was the narrative.
And she was like, no. Right? She was like, no. One, I should not have been treating him the way I was treating him. But then two, no man or nobody should be putting hands on each other.
Yes.
And I was like, for 3 years?
I mean, we have no idea what's in our households, what we see, what gets normalized.
You know, I was doing this study, Joy, and it says that $193 billion in earnings was lost because of mental illness. I'm gonna say this one more time. I'm looking at this camera. $193 billion in earnings, right, was lost because people didn't take the time to invest into their mental, invest into their number one business. They didn't take the time to mind their business. How much money have you lost? How much money has passed you? How much money has passed over you and went to someone else you know? How much money, how many job promotions have skipped over you and went to your other coworker because you didn't take the time to mentally take care of yourself? And so your boss was like, no, you're not ready. And you're upset at your boss because you think they skipped over you because they didn't like you, when really, no, seriously, you just were not ready. How does, Joy, poor mental health affect our finances?
Ooh. I mean, well, like you said, you can lose out on earnings because if you feel like you're always depressed, if you feel like you're always being pushed aside, or no one notices you, or you have this narrative around no one's ever going to treat you well anyway. I go to work with that, right? And I make an assumption, or I look through the scope of everyone's going to micromanage me, everyone else is lazy, and so I perceive all things in that way, right? So if I'm perceiving things in that way, then maybe I should be lazy. Maybe I shouldn't do anything. So like you said, how are you going to look for me to do more and make more money? Why would you do that if I feel like I'm just supposed to do nothing because I'm angry all the time? I'm sad all the time. You know what I mean? And also, how can you really make well-founded financial choices when you're not mentally together, when you're hyper-focused on things, when you are obsessed with things, when you're just always checking out? You're not looking for the next opportunities to invest and do something better. You're not looking for the people to connect with that's going to really expand your life because you're always in your head. So constantly can mess with your money.
Every wealthy person that I've been around, every wealthy person that when I say wealthy, I'm talking about their net worth is $10 million or more. You know, I'm not talking about people who have $1 million in the 401k, and that's wealthy. But I'm talking about people who make $10 million or more a year, right? Every single one of them sees a therapist.
Absolutely.
Every single one of them has a therapist on speed dial. I talked to one of my mentors, not really my mentor, a friend who gives me good wisdom. He doesn't pay his therapist by the month. He pays his therapist, like, if he texts her or calls her at this time, she just bills him for that hour.
Yeah.
And she just sends him a bill every single month. And he's like, she's in his favorites.
Yes.
Why do you think wealthy people see therapists on a regular, but then non-wealthy people, we have a problem seeing a therapist?
Well, you think about the mind of a person who's wealthy. This is a person who probably did things differently than other people. Okay. This is a person who took time to process and invest in themselves. They saw the need for something. And a wealthy person is not messing with their money. Right? So they're like, I know I need to be healthy in all these areas. Your physical health, your spiritual health. They'll have like a spiritualist too, right? They'll have so many people. Yes. Because they're like, I'm not messing with my money. I'm here. I'm not going back. I like how it is. I now realize abundance. I realize that this stuff flows to me. And how do I make it flow? Open my mind, open all the things, the chakras, whatever you want to open up. But when you realize what works for you, you're not going back. Why would you not have a therapist?
Today's show, it's probably one of my most favorites. And I'm gonna be real. I don't mean no harm, BetterHelp. It's not because of BetterHelp. It's because of, this is the information that we need. This is the information that we need, more conversations like this in the Black community. Therapy needs to become something that is required. Okay, take away requirement. Therapy needs to become something that is expected to have and to be doing before we get married. I am not married. I don't know all of the facts and the stats. Well, I do know the facts and the stats around marriages are divorcing. And it's divorcing because of money. Check this out. Not because of the lack of money, but because of the lack of conversation around money. Why is there a lack of conversation around money? I think it's because we haven't gone to therapy to really understand, why do I think this way? Why do I desire this particular thing? And if we all if we all went to therapy before we got into a committed relationship, and now we understand why we're doing things, we can come to the table, this is what I want. This is what I like. This is what I do not like. This is where I see myself going. Now we can make better decisions. Is this the right relationship for me? When we make that best decision, marriages, partnerships, whatever y'all want to call it, will last longer, because now we're coming to the table healthier, wiser, more knowledge, and clear. And we have freedom. So listen, as we are ending this show, I mean this. This was probably one of my most favorite shows, solely because of we're talking about therapy, which is needed. While this is Black History Month, and I am focused on making sure that we bring the education to Black people, listen, it's for all people. Black, whites, Hispanics, you name it. Everyone needs to go see a therapist. And I want to encourage you to click the link in the show description and check out BetterHelp. They got a great deal going on right now, very inexpensive. Listen, don't go buy those new shoes this week, okay? Ladies, your hair looks good, all right? Listen, you don't need new nails. You listen, okay? Because here's the thing. If you can get your mind right, you can buy You can do it. You can get in a better position to set yourself up to get new nails every single week. If you get your mind right, you can get yourself in a better position to where you can get that new weave every single week. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real with you. Brothers, don't take her to the most expensive restaurant this week. As a matter of fact, don't even take her out this week. Tell her you're investing into your mind. And if she says, yo, what? Let her go. Because if you can get your mind right, you can take her to that nice restaurant and not feel bad about it, because now you're a better individual. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, you don't need the rims. You don't need the car right now. Go get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, let me say this. Don't even date for the next month. Focus on your mind. So that when you do date, you're a better individual. And I'm telling you right now, you will thank me later. And one of the things I really do love about BetterHelp is, I'm gonna be honest and transparent. A part of me almost didn't partner with them because I like Black therapists. And what I love about with BetterHelp is now you can go in there and specifically ask for a Black therapist that understands your culture. If you desire a Black therapist, if you are white and you want a white therapist, you can specifically say, hey, I want this. If you are on there, say, yo, I want to talk to someone specifically about sex, you can ask for a sex therapist. I specifically want to talk about, money, specifically want to talk about past hurts, pain, drama, anxiety. Now you can get very specific and get exactly what you want. And then listen, when you get that therapist, if you're off of your Zoom call with them, you can send them a message. Yo, I'm feeling a little down. And they can walk through that process via text and then get back on the call. Like, this is a great outlet. And I was like, heck yeah, BetterHelp, I'm in. I am in. So y'all gonna be hearing me talk about them often because this year we're maximizing our single season. This year we're paying off debt. This year we're building wealth. This year we're starting businesses. And here's the thing, you cannot build something solid on a rocky foundation. And the foundation for us is our core. And our core is connected to our mind. And we gotta go see therapy. We have to go see therapy. Now, in the beginning of the conversation, you're a sexologist.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people on here are probably saying, what the heck is a sexologist? Mm-hmm. And so I want to spend a little bit of time before we close the show out.
Okay.
What is a sexologist?
A sexologist.
And you don't have to be like safe. You can keep it real on the show.
Okay, keep it real.
Because I think there's a lot of people saying, what does a sexologist do? Like sex? So wait, break that down. What is it for now?
So a sexologist could be a therapist, but it could also be someone who educates you on sex. There's so many things we don't understand about our bodies, because who told us about our bodies? Who taught you about sex?
The church, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, so the church doesn't know everything about sex. Mm-hmm. The pastor might know a lot about sex, but but the church doesn't know everything about sex. So, what a sexologist is gonna do?
Yo, I'm done. I'm done. If y'all are watching this, if y'all listening to this on podcast, y'all should have seen my face. That is hilarious. I'm not even going to. Okay, go ahead. You're the expert. You're the expert.
We are going to identify what it is that you really are missing, right? The desires that you have and maybe you feel like you can't get to, and show you a path to get to that. Show you a path to get to pretty much higher than you ever imagined you could get, right? Yeah. You could be somebody who has physical things that are going on that are preventing you from what you think is normal sex. And we can give you the path to get to that space as well. There's no normal, right? There's what is important to you. And we want to enhance that for you. We also want to remove any shame you have around sex, because that's one of the biggest things. This space of how I'm supposed to do it, who I'm supposed to do it with, when I'm supposed to do it, and I don't want to push anyone against their personal values, right? But sometimes they're aligning with someone else's values. And so what I want to get to is what's really, truly authentically yours, and then let's go from there sexually, right? Okay. So it's something that you should be proud of, that your body can produce this thing for you, can alleviate these things for you. It is a natural thing. We are full of sexual energy. We're full of spiritual energy. We're full of all types of energy. I truly believe the more sexual energy you get right, your money gets right too, because you can manifest some more stuff. I'm just saying. So if you want to have both, go see a sexologist.
We're just gonna end it right there. She said, "Get your mind right and get your sex right." Mm-hmm. Oh Jesus, I need to get married. You trying to tell me if I'm married and my sex is good, I make more money? Oh, look at here, wife. Where you at? Where are you? No, listen, I'm going to end today's show by saying this. Click the link in the show description. Get on BetterHelp. Look up Joy. Rock with her. She does a lot with the groups. And look up her information. Mm-hmm. Follow her. Connect her. I'll make sure to put all that information in the show description. But Teachable has a great deal going on for my tribe. Click the link in the show description. Check it out. I'm telling you, this is important. All right. And then also too, the scripture says in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. Today's affirmation. Today and every day, I am blessed. Simple. Today and every single day, I am blessed. Not just today and then skip over tomorrow. You're not cursed tomorrow. Today and every single day, even if the day is bad, even if the day doesn't seem as good, you're living. God has a plan for your life. You are blessed. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. And because he took his time to form you, you're blessed. Even if you lost your job, you're still blessed. Even if your kids are acting crazy, and I ain't got no kids, you're still blessed. Even if your baby daddy is acting a little weird, you're still blessed. And I really want you to say that today 5 times. If you're driving in your car right now, don't pull over and get too crazy, but scream it while you're driving. Today and every single day, I am blessed. My kids are blessed. My family is blessed. My friends are blessed. My spouse is blessed. My partner is blessed. Every single day. If you're watching this right now on YouTube Live, I want you to type it in and put it all caps because I'm watching y'all. I'm here with y'all. Type it. Today, I am blessed. Today and every single day, I am blessed because I'm blessed because it's an amazing partnership with BetterHelp and this amazing therapist, Joy. And listen, I got to know her off camera. My producer and his amazing lady is here, who is also named Joy. Mm-hmm. And man, we just had a great conversation. I said, oh, this is gonna be a good conversation. BetterHelp, if y'all watching this, y'all got a dope one. I was a little nervous. I didn't know if y'all was gonna connect me with a cool therapist. But Joy walked in the building and we had a dope conversation. She walked me through some things I've been thinking about like over the last few months. And I was like, Joy, was this confirmation? And I mean, listen here. When you surround yourself with good people, when you get yourself connected with a good therapist, Joy's she's about to coach me through some things. You know, I'm gonna be real. Don't DM her and ask her what that is. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it because, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pay her now, so that way y'all can't ask her what that is because she can't even confirm or deny. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? As a matter of fact, do I got $1 on me now? But I take my mental therapy seriously, and she's about to really help me do some good things. My God, my God, my God. Yo, love you all. Thank you so much for rocking with me here at the table. Make sure you all check out BetterHelp. You guys, the Singles Blueprint, 8 Pillars to Maximizing Your Single Season course is releasing. Go sign up on the wait list. That information is also in the show description. And I promise you, you're gonna love it. All right, see y'all on the next show. Peace out.